My name is John Dittmer from DePaul University in Indiana, the author of The Good Doctors, the Medical Committee for Human Rights and the Struggle for Social Justice in Healthcare. This is about a group of physicians who went to Mississippi during the Freedom Summer of 1964 to give support to civil rights workers there. They stayed on and formed a permanent organization with chapters all across the United States, and they were involved in a variety of activities throughout the 10 years of their ascendancy. MCHR was from the beginning a controversial organization. The American Medical Association, of course, wanted to have nothing to do with it because the first demonstration by doctors as doctors were a group of MCHR physicians against the American Medical Association at its annual convention. Made them pretty unpopular. The original group of doctors, if there were a profile, they were Jewish from the east side of New York, many of them second generation Eastern European or Russian. They were the first group of medical students who were not subjected to rigid quotas. Many of them were left-wing. A number of them had been or still were members of the Communist Party, but they were all very active. They all believed that health care was a human right, and they believed that the American health system was a non-system and badly needed fixing. Incidentally, a number of the physicians now in their 80s are very active in the single-payer health movement today. One of the major roles of MCHR in both in the South and later nationally was what they called medical presence. That meant when there was a demonstration, say in Jackson, Mississippi or in Alabama, why doctors with their white coats, their bags, and their Red Cross armbands would be on the scene. They had a dual function here. First, of course, if the civil rights workers were beaten up, they could give them first aid. But secondly, the fact that you had an adult professional presence sometimes was a deterrent to whites going in and beating up civil rights workers. So they did this in Mississippi, and then in Alabama, and then throughout the 1960s, there was almost a Zelig-like quality about MCHR, because wherever there was a demonstration or a confrontation, there were always MCHR people there who were on the scene to provide whatever medical presence and moral support that they could. This was one of the more visible aspects of the medical committee's work. The MCHR accomplished several positive things at the time and several that have had long-term significance. First of all, they were of tremendous assistance to civil rights workers in the South. But they also discovered black poverty in Mississippi, and under the leadership of Alvin Poussant, who was their first Southern Field Director, why they opened a clinic in the Delta town of Chula, and then as a result of that, Dr. Jack Geiger and others got the idea for the first community health centers, and the National Comprehensive Community Health Center movement came right out of MCHR. And now there are practically 1,000 centers serving 15 million people in America, and they are expanding, and the Obama administration wants to spend billions more. A lot of people are disappointed that those advocates of single-payer insurance, and most of my doctors fall into that category, do not even have a seat at the table. In fact, there was a demonstration in Congress last week where several of these doctors were arrested protesting the fact that single-payer was not being, single-payer advocates were not being heard. So what the MCHR people were doing in the 60s and 70s, they were calling attention to the same kinds of problems in discrimination in healthcare that we're facing today. Hopefully there will be a better resolution to it.